All right. So for our last topic of the night, we are talking about Creed 3. And I got Brandman Brandon with me, Brian the Grizzly, and Zach Attacks Reviews from his channel. So make sure you go check out Zach Attacks Reviews as well, which I think, did you already do a solo review on it?
Oh, yes,
so,
he did.
There you go. Check it out. Yeah, I don't know why I'm asking, man. The answer is yes. So, but cool, man. We'll just go right off the bat. Third in the Creed trilogy. Do you count the Creed as the Rocky franchise, or is it finally become its own thing? Because this one's finding his own story. I don't know. Zach, I can't hear you.
Zach, you can hear Zach.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yeah, he was waiting for so long. That's why.
I was saying that it's a spinoff, so it's his own franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. I like it. But what do you guys think about it right off the bat? Some of the good stuff. You know, we'll get into some of the bad stuff a little later. Some of the good stuff that you liked about Creed 3. Or Zach.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first. I loved Michael B. Jordan in this film. A lot of people are giving Jonathan Majors praise, but I thought Michael B. Jordan did a great job as well in acting. And I think this might have been his best performance I've seen him so far in a film. I love his directing, so I think he did a great job in the behind the camera and in front of the camera. I think he did the best directing job for the first 3 movies, which is crazy to me because Ryan Coogler is a fantastic director. He did the first one, but I really like the energy he brought to the emotional scenes. I feel like with the first 2 Creeds, there were some scenes where they were talking where I felt like I was a little bored, or I was like, okay, come on, let's speed this up. But I was so engaged in all the scenes, either like the family moments where I thought was really sweet, or the really sad moment. Yeah, his daughter, and the sad moments, especially when he was having that argument with his mom and things like that. Like, I thought that there was an energy there and like an excitement in the actors that weren't there before. I don't know what it was. And the boxing matches, that's what you're coming for. This is the best of the franchise and some of the best in any boxing movie.
Yeah. Brandon, what you got? What you think?
Kind of branching off exactly what Zach said. This was a great directorial debut for Michael B. Jordan. I think compared to the first 2 movies, you know, of course, Ryan Coogler directed the first one. Stephen Caple Jr. directed the second one. I think from a directorial standpoint, those 2 kind of felt similar to each other. I think that this one very much felt like its own animal and very much obviously had its own visual flair, especially in comparison to the first 2. Like especially with the final boxing match. You know, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the stuff that Michael B. Jordan did just to kind of illustrate what was going on in the minds of the fighters between Adonis and Dame. And that was probably one of my favorite things about it. The movie, direction-wise, through his directing, it probably felt the most interpersonal of the 3 to me. And just pretty much everything about it was very taut in terms of, you know, not just the boxing, but, you know, kind of some more of the scenes just with dialogue between characters. Jonathan Majors obviously has been on like a big role the last couple months.
Yeah.
He was easily one of my favorite things. But I kind of want to see a spin-off about the character of Dame. Maybe he could do it. Maybe he could have a redemption arc. I thought he's a character potentially worth exploring more. So, you know, I really liked that. It was probably my second favorite of the 3. My first favorite of the 3 is still the first one. This one is right up there for me with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then real quick, kind of talking about like what you guys already mentioned about the fights and stuff like that. The anime references. There's a lot of anime references, and the fight scenes I think he took from like Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball
Z. You know, like I believe he said he wanted it to be a Goku versus Vegeta kind of fight. And You definitely got those vibes. So if you know the reference I'm talking about, then and you've seen this movie, I think you kind of can pull that. Like, yeah, you know. But yeah, there's a lot, and obviously Michael B. Jordan's a big anime nerd.
Mhm.
I think there was a Naruto poster in one of the backgrounds.
Donnie had the Naruto poster in his Naruto artwork on his wall at the beginning,
and a lot of boxing anime references as well in terms of the way the action was done.
Yeah,
it's like Megalobox. If you ever seen that anime, he did a great job of recreating some of that too.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen that one. Yeah. But yeah, even like Brandon said, like I don't watch anime. Even if you don't watch anime, you still can enjoy, all the choreography and the two main characters kind of, with their dilemmas and stuff like that.
It's not like it's Dragon Ball Z. They just shoot Kamehamehas out.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But I mean, that was like one thing that it's kind of like other things do it as well, where they take like we're enemies, but now we're friends to fight the next enemy. They did it with Drago in this one. Like he pulls in Drago and helps him train for the next enemy. Yeah, the Goku effect, exactly. But also
too.
Yeah. But also Rocky 3 did the same thing. When Rocky needed to fight Mr. T, Apollo Creed, was in his corner and helped him train. So it's a thing that happens, where the bad guy, quote unquote bad guy, teams up and they become the new powerhouse to beat the new big bad guy. So, what about you, Brian? Some good stuff.
I believe Michael B. Jordan versus Jonathan Majors is a perfect pairing. And I believe Michael B. Jordan knew that already. That's why he called Jonathan Majors and said, "I need you in this movie," because they together are like different sides of the same coin, and that is such a good balance. Like Jonathan Majors was the best villain I've seen this entire year, because you understood where he was coming from. You see the story, you know why he's mad, you knew everything, and he was intense. His intensity was almost scary. Like, it was so well acted. And Michael B. Jordan understanding how you blame yourself before this situation, how you had to look inside yourself, and also the closed offness he had with his wife. Tessa Thompson did her thing in this movie too. I gotta put that in. I mean, she did her thing. And once again, because I look through my lens, because I look at it as a personal reference. So my wife is, if you know her, she's a good reflection of me. The things I'm missing, she gives me. That's what she did. Tessa was the things that he was missing as a person, as a father, or anything, she gave him. And he gives her the support. He's there at her support too. But it was a balance. And I loved seeing that balance. And then there's a balance between Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. I love seeing that balance. And then Felicia Rashad, dude, that almost broke me. It almost broke me. And I knew it was coming. And it didn't matter. And then even her last words, it was so touching, man. So hard to watch. And little Amara Creek, oh my, that little girl. And then the fight she had in her, and she beat up that little girl. Give him a 2-piece. I was happy to see
dying
that.
Laughing in the theater. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's like my little girl. Give him the 2-piece. You want some? I don't care. And then like Jordan said stuff like, "I thought they would be nice. It's a deaf school. Like, they're still kids." It was like to say, but it was so well done. And even the boxing scenes, when it's just them two, and everyone else was gone, and it was just them in the ring, and you felt that intensity. You felt that they didn't care about anything else except what was right in front of me. They did it so well. Michael B. Jordan killed this. And to me, this is the best movie I've seen this year. I honestly believe it's the best movie I've seen this year. I mean, everything has a few problems, but I thought the kids that played them did a great job. I can't wait to see Creed 4. I literally left the movie theater and say, I'm okay with this franchise keep continuing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was my initial likes.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if this is the end, if this is the cherry on top, it's the best way to do it, I think. You know, like he wins again. It's just it's a more of a personal battle, you know, and it's the first time it's not directly related to Rocky. You know what I mean? Like this one is like actually his story. You know, it didn't have anything to do with like, oh, this is Drago's kid, you know, or we didn't get Mr. T's kid in this one. You know, it's like, no, this is his story, you know, and that's what I liked about it. You know, it was an actual Creed original, you know, kind of.
Yeah, in hindsight, Rocky really wouldn't have had any place in the story this time anyway.
No. Because it's
he couldn't relate to them.
Personal.
He couldn't relate to anything that was going on there.
Yeah, exactly.
He was with a fish out of water.
You know, but I gotta say, like, because we all give props to Michael B. Jordan for directing it. Let's not forget who wrote it. You know, Ryan Coogler wrote this story.
Ryan Coogler,
and his brother and his brothers. You know, so people like all upset at Ryan Coogler for Wakanda Forever for. You know, if you are upset at it for all the reasons, Ryan Coogler is still Ryan Coogler. He is amazing. And the way he wrote these characters, where not only like the everything that Brian and all you guys said, is also like they're still boys dealing with the trauma that happened when they were boys. So when they're in the ring, it's just boys confused and became men that are still confused with this emotion that happened between them two who considered each other brothers. You know, I believe they were in the same group home. Yeah. You know, so it was like a lot of that. So it wasn't just like, oh, you did me wrong. It was like, no, there's emotions that confusions and stuff like that, and you know, that I thought like hit very well, and that was like very well done, because at the end, like you said, when it's just them two, it's them figuring out like oh, you messed up because you did this, no, you messed up because you did this, but then realizing like, well, shit, neither of us messed up, you know, like it's just something that happened because we were dumb and young and didn't have the proper guidance, you know what I mean?
And the system's not made for you.
And
not made for you. There's no reason he got 18 years.
for
not
nothing.
Shooting off a gun.
yeah. So you know, it was good. I was really expecting after the fight for him to go over there and them just like I'm sorry, no, I love you, man, I love you. And I was kind of like, what we got, I thought was better than that, because I thought that, because that's kind of a trope too, you know. I thought they were gonna run to each other like, I forgive you, man, like no, they're still badasses, man. You know, like, you know, and they handled it, you know, behind in the backstage in the locker room, just them two, you know, because like you said, that's what it reflected in the ring. It was just them two, you know. So when it came to figuring out the problem, you know, or forgiveness, you know, like that happened just them two in the locker room. So, you know, I thought like all of it was very, very well done, you know, and Ryan Coogler wrote a great story and Michael B. Jordan directed a great movie, you know, so definitely it was so good. Also, like Michael B. Jordan, this being his first movie to direct, I think was the best way to go, because you already connected to this character so much, you know, so might as well, like, if this is the cherry on top of the Creed story and he's the director of it, I'm cool with it. If they want to do a number 4, I'm cool with that too. You know, because I wouldn't mind seeing Drago. Did he? Okay.
Yeah, because he was talking about he wants Stallone to come back if he's up for it.
Yeah. Because I think Drago, it seemed like Drago or Drago, whatever. It seemed like he might come back. I think he wants to.
Well, he's getting a spinoff. He's getting his own thing.
Is he? Nice.
Yeah, that's why Stallone stepped out.
They're
upset about that.
They're making a Rocky cinematic universe. Yeah. That's why I say, if you're doing a Creed 4, if you're doing a Drago movie, give Dame his own spin-off. That's a redemption arc just waiting to happen. And it's Jonathan Majors. He deserves all the success in the world.
I just don't know if he has any more time. Like, I think this was a one-off for him because he's so busy, and he did it just because Michael B. Jordan came to him specifically and said, "I need you to be opposite me."
Well, just have one of his variants do it.
Exactly. But they both said outside of this movie that they want to be more like De Niro and Pacino, like doing all this stuff together, and that will because right now I think there's the big rumor and talk that is Hollywood kind of dead, because all we get is MCU movies, which I'm fine with, but I get why a lot of other people don't like MCU movies. Get it. If these two guys team up and they do a bunch of cool shit together, man, that's gonna be so great to watch these two great actors do like a bunch of different stuff together, So I'm all in for that. Like, I want to see once a year we get a Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors together, So I'll be cool with that. Let's see, let me go through some of these comments real quick, and then we'll get into some of the bad stuff. It's part 9 of the Rocky universe. Exactly. No shade, but I got asked, is Michael B. Jordan a strong actor? He has 40 lines in every movie.
A lot in this movie. He had to be emotionally, available.
Oh yeah, I thought he was great in this.
Yeah, he was really strong.
Yeah,
I thought he was really good. And then Perp just said amazing. I'll save that one. Yeah, I'm glad that it's its own story and not connected to Rocky. Oh, yeah, exactly what I said. However, that's what made you want to go see Creed, because of the Rocky energy. Yeah, which is not a bad thing. Is like, if you want to see something else that's tied to the thing that you already like, but then it eventually becomes its own greatness in its own right.
Eventually, Creed had to become its own, its own story. That, like I said, Rocky in this one would have been kind of like a crutch, and it would have been an unneeded crutch.
Yeah,
considering how much this focused on Creed, his story moving forward, him really coming into his own, bringing a character like Dame from his past really helped to bring things full circle with the character. So, Rocky just had no place in it.
Yeah, it would have felt weird, just like off. Yeah,
and it still had Rocky elements in the movie as well. It's not like they just rewrote the book. We still had the montage. We still had the cheesy music. We still had him lose the first fight and win and win the second one. The score and the soundtrack was fantastic, but it was like some cheesy music during the montage. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah.
I think, and they even brought up the Creed and Rocky fight. When he was trying to pitch Felix, he's like, "Why you should fight this guy?" He's like, "Oh, people are still talking about Creed and Rocky."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that final match was dope. It was so good, man. With the jail bars popping up behind him, and just
that was so cool.
Punching bag behind Dame. Yeah.
That was awesome. The anime references, a bunch of them. Creed did it right. They gave homage. Now they got to build next trilogy in Creed's vision.
I think one more movie. I think one more. That's all you need.
Yeah, 3's a lot, asking a lot more. Well, because then you start turning into like the Rocky thing, like Rocky 5 kind of wasn't that great. Yeah, so you want to end it on top and not just drive it into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, Creed wants to fight Cells.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then the next one is, remember, I don't watch anime, so you won't get that reference. So it's all good. It's all good. They really setting up a spinoff for the daughter. I think so.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be cool too.
Legacy character.
Yeah. And Drago getting his own thing. Yeah, I didn't even know. So that's news to me too, that's awesome. I like that. But Yeah, I mean, even the reference to like Damien knocking out Felix. You know, I mean, Grant, he didn't kill him, like Apollo got killed in the ring, but it was the same kind of vibe. You know, like, oh man, you did this. So
hurt him
because he was a badass. Like, he was like, look, hitting him in the shoulder. He was doing things that most boxers don't do. You see, it's not illegal, but it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
No, I think it is because he got deducted points. It is. It's illegal.
Well, he got deducted for
the clinch and then hitting. You can't do that.
No, he hit him with the elbow.
Oh yeah, for the elbow, for the follow.
The elbow,
the face. Yeah,
that's for sure deducted.
But like hitting someone in the shoulder or in the wrist or an arm or a bicep, it's not illegal. You can do that.
Yeah. I think it's just hard to do. Like trying to like hit an arm as it's moving towards you, and you need to hit it in the right spot to like get a pressure point and shit. I mean, that's what I think they were trying to do, like old samurai kind of stuff, like bam, bam, bam. Now you can't move your arms, you know. Like it was kind of going after that.
He hurt his shoulder in when they're boxing before, so he knew that shoulder was already hurting.
Yeah.
So now he's just going after the weak points. So he knew the weak point. He's going after, and now when he's bracing for the weak point, that's when you knock him out. Because now you faked that, and I'm gonna hit you with the uppercut. Now you're out.
Yeah. The fighting choreography was really good.
Fantastic.
Really, really good.
Yeah, it really was. It was really amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know how much bad things you guys got. I really don't got too much bad things, but any of you guys, anything that stuck out?
For me, I have 2 personal ones, and I have 2 things that I see other people are talking about. For me, I just think that the movie was paced really well. By the time it was done, I was like, whoa, that was 2 hours? Holy crap. That went by fast. But I could have took another 10, 15, maybe in 20 minutes if they could have just spent more time with Dame. He kind of jumped from one point to another, and I wish we got a little bit more of that with his character, because I felt like this was as much as his story as Creed's story, because he was a what if for Adonis. Like, what if his mother never came and got him out of that jail? He would have been Dame. So I think that's why the story worked so well, but I think that they didn't get to drive that message home as much because Dame didn't get as much. And my second one was the Stephen A. Smith thing. That doesn't happen. What the hell?
Yeah.
People ain't just calling into the show talking about, let's set up a match.
It
that
does
took me out of the
happen.
movie a little bit.
Oh,
I was like,
it does happen, but the promoters make it happen. Like it's all set up. It does happen, but it's all set up.
I've watched First Take. I ain't never seen that happen on First Take before.
Yeah, like them take a caller, put that call through. How you want to put a call through? Like, dude,
they have lines,
especially that quick, right?
No, but they have people that only do it over the phone, so it is that fast to do those things. I'm telling you, it's happened. Yeah. They've done it. It's just stupid because it's
very movie.
Promoters promoting or something. That's what it is.
A very convenient movie thing, which I was fine though. Like, they got me right back in. One thing I'm seeing people, that boxing scene that we all love, the final fight where everybody disappears and everything. Not a lot of people like that part. Like, there's some people that are complaining about it. Which I was surprised. I think a lot of people who love anime or like are geeky love it because we're used to stuff like that, and see it in live action is fire. But a lot of people felt like it felt unrealistic in a series that's felt realistic for so long, and I kind of get that a little bit. But it was so good.
Yeah, they're forgetting all about like the underlying themes and what was going on in the minds of these 2 characters.
Yeah.
You know,
I had a lot of stories.
I really liked what they did with that scene. That was cool.
Yeah. That was super cool. So, and then what about you, Brandon? Dislikes?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got any dislikes?
I'm sorry.
I guess.
I think that some of it, the pacing was good, but at some points it kind of jumped a little quicker than it should have. Like, I was kind of having trouble keeping track of how much time it lapsed from time to time. I think that was my biggest thing. I also think that they could have moved a little faster with telling the story of what had happened, in the flashback scenes that ultimately landed Damien in jail for 18 years. I kind of get that they were kind of trying to fragment it and tell it in an orderly fashion and in kind of in a timely fashion, but it wasn't timely enough for me at times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they could have moved a little quicker with that. But at the same time, I kind of get why they didn't. In terms of what Donnie was keeping from Tessa Thompson's character Bianca and that sort of thing. But there were times where I was like, just come on, just tell us what happened.
Yeah. They kept
I
dragging
think
it
those
out.
were, I think those are really my only two things.
Okay, you got anything, Brian?
Well, I actually disagree with you at the end. I thought that it was not realistic at all. Like after all the vengeance, after all that hate, I don't want to talk to you right now. Like I and the fact that he said no, this is not you. For all that time, he's been hyping you living my life, and for him to have that moment of clarity that fast, I don't think that's realistic. And for them to dap up and do all the handshake and everything too, I was like, nah, man. I mean, I might be able to shake your hand as a man, but we're not doing all that. That's that love. That's almost like a hug to somebody. It's like doing a handshake like that was too much to me. I thought like, right now we've been rivals for like it seemed like 9 months to a year. Like I feel like you used me. You left me in jail for 18 years. Like I thought that was just too just like, oh yeah, we accept each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't accept you, bro. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do this again and make some more money. Like it just didn't make sense to me in the real world, personally.
Cal said something funny towards that.
I know. I just said something. Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
clear something quick.
Yeah, clear your mind up real quick.
Yeah, but he only won by that much. Like once again, it was a close match. So it wasn't like he just got his ass with the whole time. It was in the last round. He should have stayed away. So, then the other thing is I don't understand. So Victor Drago is a heavyweight. That's a big mother effer, right?
Yeah.
All three of the other dudes that are playing heavyweights are like 155 pounds. They're super lightweight. So in my mind, I was like, all right, why are you trying to be a heavyweight? You're literally a heavyweight would kill you. Like would literally hit you and it'll be over. Like I don't understand how
what was
you're
the Spanish
fighting.
guy name again?
Yeah.
When I saw him, I was like, he's so small.
He's so
small. Eat him alive. But then, he's a great boxer. He was a better boxer than Dame. Dame was just cheating.
Yeah, but once again,
Dame just fought really dirty.
Majors is only 170 pounds.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan.
I don't think Dame was that in the movie though.
But I'm saying they're small guys, so it's like in my mind to be a heavyweight. I know what a heavyweight is. I mean, you think about Muhammad Ali. You think about it just didn't make sense. Sylvester Stallone is still a bigger, bulkier dude. Like it almost made, and he was a small heavyweight, so it made sense there. But these guys are middleweights, so it just didn't. It wasn't realistic to me. But I've always thought that every Creed movie, I was like, Michael B. Jordan being a heavyweight since when?
Yeah, unless they change heavyweights,
doesn't roll off the tongue. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's always got to be world heavyweight champion.
Alvarez right there. He was bigger.
Yeah,
he's a welterweight champion. Like he was bigger. Like you don't have real boxers right there. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, especially like if you compare to the old one where Carl Weathers and Stallone, they were big. Those were big guys. The thing is, like Jordan and Majors, they were shredded like all hell, but they weren't jacked. And there's a difference. There was a difference between shredded and jacked. You know what I mean? So they were both shredded and showing off their freaking like 12 packs, but they weren't jacked. And that was the thing. And where like Drago was shredded, but he was also big. So you could tell just in his shoulders how big of a dude he really is.
I mean, he's once again, Carl Weathers is 6'2". He's 6'2", 225 pounds. He's really Muhammad Ali. He found someone to lose who's Muhammad Ali. You know, Michael B. Jordan is Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Like, so it is what it is. But,
yeah. And that's exactly what Brandon was saying. Same thing. Yeah. All three films. How are they supposed to be heavyweights? But Michael is small as F. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Like you said, it rolls off the tongue better. It just like, you know, like, oh, the cruiserweight champion. It was like, because you know the world heavyweight champion in every fighting sport is considered the baddest man alive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not the light heavyweight champion. It's not the middleweight. It's the heavyweight champion. Is always the deadliest man or the baddest crazy, man.
Kessa Thompson is like 105 pounds and like he's only a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than her. Like if you see me and you see my wife weighs 130 pounds, maybe. You know, you could tell the difference in our size, right? I'm a heavyweight. You know.
Yeah.
There's no way.
That's funny.
Yeah. So real quick, with mine, I got one was, and it kind of goes off with what Zach and Brandon said, was the time thing. I wanted to see Damian maybe defend his title a couple more times because he won it and then he lost it like within the same like year. Like I wanted him to like show him trash talking, him knocking out a person like he was doing in the practice rounds. You know, like in the sparring, knocking out actual other professional boxers, knock them out, and then him going like, he goes, oh, I want him, I want Creed. You know, instead we got him knocking out in sparring, which is not the same, and then him pointing at the Creed poster. I was like, no, I wanted him to like defend his title at least like 2 times or something. I don't know, like they needed a little bit more of Damian in the in between time where he was like living in a hotel and now he's in like, you know, the super expensive suite in some wherever he was in. So I wanted more of that because that all it was Stephen A. Smith just tied all that together. It was like, oh, he's rich now and he's been talking a lot of smack about you and your family and shit. It was like, show it. Like I don't need Stephen A. Smith running his mouth. He does that all the time. I'm used to that. Like I want to see Jonathan Majors like talk shit. You know, like Exactly. Another 15 minutes, I think that would have been good. But I don't know how many Rocky montages you could put in a Rocky movie. So
there's a level you only can do so much.
Yeah, you can only do so many a day. I think they already had like 3 in here. So, but that's my only really complaint. And then real quick, it's a classic vengeance story, pretty much. You know, Kurt versus Khan, Kurt versus Spock. Kind of, yeah. And this was going. I thought that Leon dude had like molested him or something. That kind of would have been way deeper.
I thought that's where it was going.
Yeah. But he was just an asshole. Which I'm like,
which is bad too. Getting beat on by an adult in a group home is pretty bad.
Yeah. But we said I think Creed was gonna lose, have a rematch next movie. That's what I thought too. I thought he was gonna lose and let Damian have his moment. Because I thought that would be kind of interesting. Yeah, I thought it would have been interesting. Get him a match. All right. I'll bring him down. So I'm getting that match wasn't realistic, honestly. Him getting that match wasn't realistic. Oh, yeah, no way. There's no way. You have to have some kind of leverage. You know, like John Jones in the UFC got his shot at the UFC heavyweight, you know, after being gone for so many times. I think he had one other fight, but it's John Jones. You know what I mean? Like the man is a monster in human form that just runs over people. So it was like, yeah, that person who's a proven champion is up in the division, hasn't fought in a while. They gave him one fight and now he's up for the title fight. Like that makes sense. But it's also UFC. UFC doesn't care about rankings. Yeah, like you're Mr. Popular, you're fighting. Yeah. You know, Conor McGregor wasn't even in the top 5 when he got a title shot. You know, so yeah.
Hey, totally off topic a little bit, but did you know John Jones and Chandler Jones were brothers?
Yeah.
I had no idea, no clue. I was like,
yeah. I think there's a third Jones brother. I could be wrong.
Yeah, there is.
I think there's a third one that also plays the NFL, I think. But yeah, they're brothers. Yeah. That's great, man. That's just insane. Like having a family like that, like the Kelseys, you know, stuff like that. Even like the John Jones, look, Look at all my Super Bowl rings. Look at my UFC titles. Like what? Like at that point, he's like, who buys mom the biggest house? You know, it's like
it got to be the Chandler because John Jones is too busy spending on. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything about John Jones. He might whoop my butt. Never mind. You're a great guy.
I want to. He's such a fun person to watch fight. And I hope he finally gets his shit together, man, because I do want to see him fight more. But yeah. Keep going. Thoughts on the Drago TV series? I don't know. Is it going to be a TV series?
I would rather see Dame at this point. Honestly, I would rather see Dame and him.
I don't know how I feel about his acting.
I don't think I've seen him.
I don't know. That's a good question.
What else?
He barely talked or did anything. He was in Shang-Chi. That's about it.
Oh, that's right. He was the blade hand dude.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. He sure was in Shang-Chi. Liked him in that.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't say much.
Can he carry a whole show for 8 episodes?
Yeah, it's $1 million question.
Yeah,
but I'd be fine with a Drago TV series. There's potential there. Like we were saying, I overheard Brian say he'd rather see Dame, just like me.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is there's potential for a lot of characters, you know. So I'd give it a watch, you know, the Drago TV series. I'd give it a fair shot.
The writer and director. I think that's
the writer and director. Part. Yeah.
I think showrunners. Michael B. Jordan was like executive producer, just kind of made sure things stayed on track. You know, that might at least put a little bit of confidence in it. But I don't know. Like you said, it all depends.
You know, one thing I will say before we finish up, I'm happy Tessa Thompson didn't turn into Evangeline Lilly. Like she wasn't like brushed to the side. They still gave, they gave her like her
some lines
and giving up, her dream and producing was still part of the story. They didn't just like brush it to the side. She still mattered in the movie, and I thought that was great. And because of that, she delivered some of the best, the best moments. Giving her that opportunity to understand, especially because when a man who's dealing with all this stuff, how important she is. I thought that was great. And then, even the whole scene with Felicia Rashad when she passes and or his mom passes, and then she's like, she was my mom too. Like I talked to her about things I could never talk to anyone else. Like you're not the only one hurting. Like those type of things had more realistic stuff to it. Like he gives you different feelings. Like I literally had goosebumps during some of the conversations they had, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And because Rocky was gone, she kind of stepped in that role. Obviously, not teaching him the box, but the emotional part that Rocky took part in having those conversations. Because one of the like positive things I could say again to end it off is that from Creed 1 to Creed 2, Adonis's progression frustrated me because he felt like the same person. But from those two to this one, the progression is leaps and bounds, and I think that was my my favorite part of the movie. The fact that he grew so much after those years, and he was like in a good place, but he still was flawed because he couldn't talk about this, and so it wasn't like he just changed completely, but he grew up a bit. So I think that was a great choice. And I think Tessa Thompson's Bianca character was a big part of that because she was always emotionally ahead of him. And she was like playing catch up.
I mean, as I said, like for me, someone who's married, understanding the reason I'm married is because this person reflects the parts that I need, she gives me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is, that partnership stuff. And seeing that in a movie and seeing that reflected in a movie is important too. So,
yes,
yeah,
especially amongst Black couples.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say like having a strong
Black couple using each other and like growing with each other and needing each other. Gold.
Yeah, especially two great actors. together doing that, and which kind of what Kyle said. Get this man and Thompson sponsor, or stock going up if you were a manager.
Hey,
no,
more things.
Yeah, I like her. I'm here to support all Black excellence. So if I see excellence, I'm going to say it. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean everything she's in. Well, mostly everything she's in is good. Men in Black sucked. Sorry,
but it was awful.
Oh yeah, Men in Black. Yeah, international. Yeah, that was so bad.
Don't forget Thor: Love and Thunder.
That wasn't awful.
She was okay in it.
He was good in it. The movie wasn't that good.
Yeah, sure. That's true. All right. So we're gonna finish this one off with just a quick rating. So here at Spoiler Kings, we do things a little different. Now, later, never. Now means you got to go check it out. It is worth it. Later means you can wait till it's streaming and then put it on in the background or something like that. And never means do not watch it. Do not kill any brain cells. It is not worth the time. With that, Zach, I'll let you start off. What you think?
I'm gonna give it a definite now. Like I said in my out of theater reaction, run to the theater, go check this out, see it in IMAX, Dolby, RPX theater, because one of the things that added to the experience was the RPX was when they were going Creed, my back of my chair was shaking like I was in the crowd. So it added to that immersion to the film. And even if you only can see it in like a regular screen, it's still just a great movie. Just go see it now. There's no spoilers, but I just think it's just a great experience. And out of the 18 films I've seen this year, it's my number one.
Nice. Already 18 thing. All right. Brandon, what are you giving this one?
This is an absolute now, no question about it. Like I said, it's neck and neck with the first Creed. This is my favorite of the trilogy. Thought the character moments were great. I thought the fight scenes were really good. It was so well directed. I want to see more stuff. I want to see Michael B. Jordan direct more content moving forward. My complaints about this one were minimal, and it kept me invested. Jonathan Majors is really, really on a hot streak. I will watch anything that he's in moving forward. I think he's one of the greatest, more exciting, newer actors to come out in recent years. So I back him 150%. And, and Michael B. Jordan doing his thing as always, acting wise. All around the board, it was great. It was well acted, it was well directed. So this is an absolute now.
Cool. Right.
I feel like everyone should get a time machine, go back in time, and see it the night it came out. It's not just a now. It's you should already saw it in the past. You should already you should go back in the past and see it again. It was so good. I really enjoyed the experience. It is definitely my favorite movie I've seen this year by far. I thought it was the best acted, best story. My wife enjoyed watching it. My father. So if you've seen any of our things, my dad doesn't like a lot of stuff, and he enjoyed it. So that's why I'm like, it hit me right where I needed it to hit. So personally, I really enjoyed it. I think other people will too. I think it's worth going to go see.
Yep.
So now.
And then we're going unanimous now because I'm giving it now. It's my favorite thing I've seen all year. It was just well written, well directed, well acted. It just the fighting was good. All the meanings behind everything was good. So it's like if you just want to go and watch a movie with some good acting and some good boxing, this is it. If you also want to dig into some of the meanings behind all the stuff that's going on, with the boxing at the end and stuff like that, like it has levels and layers, and I always appreciate that. And then again, with just great acting from everybody. There's parts where you want to cry. And there's some parts where you get all worked up too, like the training montage. It's a Rocky training montage. It's going to be good, So, but definitely a fun movie, great movie, definitely worth watching in the theater. But I am giving it an out as well. But yeah, so I think we all liked it. Real quick, how much money did it make?
It's past 100 million worldwide.
100 million already. Yeah.
All right. Damn. Opening weekend.
1 weekend, 100 million.
There you go. There you go.
The biggest opening in the Rocky franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. And then real quick, Kyle said rank them. So not all of them.
But all day with all the Rockies.
All of the Creeds. Which how are you gonna rank it, Zach?
Creed 3, Creed 1, Creed 2.
Okay. Brandon?
I'd say Creed 1, Creed 3, and then Creed 2.
Brian?
I'm Chicago, man. 3-1-2.
Man, it's really tight between 3 and number 1. I'm gonna give it number 1. And then 3 and then 2. But yeah, definitely those are really good. So cool. Anything else, guys? We're calling it a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it.
Yeah.
On my end.
All right. So that's it from us tonight in the live show. So this is it for the live one. So if you're watching our replay, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought about Creed 3. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did that boxing match at the end not fit for you? Let us know. Leave a comment. And also make sure you go check out Zack Attack Reviews. Go check out his solo review of the movie and a bunch of other cool stuff he does over there on his channel. So go give him a sub. I think you're getting close to 500. So get Zach to 500.
You running?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Fine.
There you go.
Yeah. And then while you're hitting that subscribe button, make sure you hit it here on the Spoiler Kings. We're trying to get to 1,000. Hit that like button so YouTube knows we're doing some good stuff over here. And and then make sure you check us out live. Next time we're live is going to be this Thursday. So Thursday. Yeah. Every Monday and Thursday. There you go. But cool. Appreciate all you guys in chat. Thank you so much from everybody. Brandon's 1, 2, 3. What really? 3 was your worst one?
Hey, I mean, to each their own. I mean, it's not like he's saying they're terrible. It could be like one's 9.5, not one's 9.6, the other one's 9.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Like 1 point away from each other. Yeah. But cool. Thank you guys. But that's it. We are out of here.